Hey everybody, happy Monday, happy Monday. If you're on your hit that like button. Also, guys, let me know how the sound is. I want to make sure you guys are hearing me properly. Y'all know I'm doing this all on my phone until my computer comes in. It should be in about a week. I'm so excited. So yeah, let me know in the comment section, guys, how the sound is turning out. Want to make sure everything is good. I hope you guys are having a good day so far, a good evening now. Like I said, hit the like button. What's going on? Ramsey 7. Hit the like button, y'all. Y'all know the drill. Show support to the show. Cash App, Venmo, Shay Sade. As always, I will be sure to read and acknowledge our super chat. So, you guys, I wasn't even planning on going live today, and lo and behold, I was sent this video that I guess has been trending over the weekend, called Nutquick from Glorilla. And all I can honestly say, all I can honestly say is that when I first saw the video, like just the entire 2-3 minute video, I just was in a state of shock. If I'm just being honest, like I just, my mouth was like wide open. I was like squinting. Like, is this a parody? That was my first reaction. And I want to talk a little bit about failure today because I think we get so much messaging on a regular basis as women, as Black women, that it's almost like our conscience can become seared from what is actually going on. But let it be clear that that particular video, I think, is a reflection of a larger culture of failure that continues to be coddled. It continues to be shoved down the throat of young women, of modern women, and more specifically Black women, because Black women tend to lead the charge in all things degenerate. And I don't say that because I think we are morally or spiritually more corrupt by nature or anything like that. It's just, y'all, Black folks in America have been somewhat of a permanent underclass. If you understand the history, this is nothing surprising. And so we always lead, it seems like we lead the charge in any and everything bad. What's that saying? When a white America has a cough, Black America has the pneumonia or the flu. And that's true. So if you want to talk about bad results, you want to talk about failure, unfortunately, you don't have to look, too much farther than what's going on with Black women. So again, guys, if you're on here, hit that like button. Show support to the show, you guys. Help me reach my goal tonight. I'd like to get at least 10 supporters. Cash App, Venmo, Shay Sade. As always, I'll be sure to acknowledge you guys and read all of the comments. So show some love, show some support if you like what we're doing here. And if you resonate with this message, be sure to show some love. But so that's what I'm saying. It's like this culture of failure. We have to talk about it. And I think it needs to be addressed for what it is. And it is failure. It's not, oh, we're just having fun. It's not, oh, this ain't no big deal. You're just being too stuck up or you're being too whatever. It's no, it's failure. Because what's the end result of the kind of behavior we see in these music videos time and time and time again is failure. It is bad results. It is nothing good. It is nothing that leads to prosperity, leads to healthiness, families, mental wellness, physical wellness. It is failure. If I could show you guys aspects of the video, I could, but unfortunately I am limited on my phone right now. But y'all let me know in the comment section how many of you guys actually saw the video I'm talking about, or at the very least saw snippets. I'm curious because if you saw it, maybe you would, kind of understand exactly what I'm talking about. Let me know down in the comment section if you guys had a chance to check it out. Thank you, Dane C, for the 2. I appreciate you. It says show and support. Dane C, you are such a loyal and consistent supporter. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much, guys. And thank you, Dane C, specifically. But yeah, let me know down in the comment section if you had a chance to check out the video. Just to kind of, so I can gauge who can, who's tracking with me, if y'all know what's going on. But as I mentioned, when we talk about failure, we talk about failed results. It's the real thing. It's not just me making pot shots at Black women. It's not just saying, oh, well, they just wear too many weaves or whatever, although I do believe that. too many of us spend money on fake hair and don't know how to do our own hair. But this isn't, like I said, this isn't a value judgment. This is just a reality of what's actually going on. So as always, I wanted to bring some numbers to the table. I wanted to bring just kind of a snapshot on where Black women are at, just to kind of help paint the picture of what failure look like. Okay, so I see I have not. So you have not seen the music video. Truthfully, in my opinion, I don't know that it's anything worth I hate to say it. I don't think it's anything worth watching. And this is no shot against Glorilla. I think she does have, talent, but the whole image and just the whole ratchet city girl rapper, like female rapper image that's been shoved down our throat the last few years, to me, it's just so tired. It's so tired. So it's exactly what you would expect from a Black female rapper. Without you seeing it, without you listening to the song, you already know what's going to be in it. It's exactly what you would expect from a Black female rapper today. Ratchetness, and more ratchetness. So that's what it is. So what's the title of the video? The title of the video is called Nutquake. If you guys haven't seen it, it says, I just watched it. It's pretty tame compared to what's out these days. And that's the thing about it. Now, let me be clear, y'all. I've never really been like deep into the female rap scene, partially because I feel like when it first really started becoming a thing, or I was more aware of it, I just wasn't really impressed with what I saw. I already thought it was kind of ratchet. And to me, it just seems like we're continuing down that road. So I was never really deep into it, but this one just got to me because I think the reason it got to me is because the last couple of months she's had single after single, and all of them have just been really ratchet. Like, it's just been this constant city girl theme, this constant party girl theme, and she's being bigged up. She's being promoted. She is being celebrated for this kind of behavior. This young girl, I don't know exactly how young she is, but I think she's like in her 20s or something. She was discovered off of TikTok, if I'm not mistaken. She did a collab with Cardi B. But it's like she's being celebrated for being ratchet. And this is what I'm talking about. Like, there's a culture of failure. And the reason it is a culture is because there used to be a time when you would do certain things or you would act a certain way, you would have results. And you had mamas or aunties or somebody who would try to, hide that from people, or would tell you to kind of get married or just do different things. Like, you wasn't putting it on Front Street. But now it seems like all the degenerate behavior is being put on Front Street and celebrated. Yeah, see, the video is really ratchet and pure gutter trash. Absolutely. It's absolutely. So again, we want to talk about results. Of course, I wanted to bring just a few stats or just a snapshot of where Black women are at to help y'all paint a picture of what I mean when I say failure, right? So again, I always like to reference Black demographics, and they pull their information from the U.S. Census Bureau just to give you guys a point of reference. But they help make it easy for people like you and me who are just trying to understand what is going on in Black America today, what's happening, trends of that nature. So a lot of the numbers that I'm about to recite can be pulled from BlackDemographics.com, which references the U.S. Census Bureau. It is statistics by Black folks for Black folks, right? But so when we look at, let's just start with the amount of women who gave birth and are giving birth within marriage versus outside of marriage. 37% of Black women who gave birth were married. That is 37%. Only 37%. So it's like almost 2/3 of Black women, the majority of Black women. The majority of Black women, right? The majority of Black women are having kids out of wedlock. Let's just start there. And if you read that section of the Black demographics, literally the bullet point under it says, this is exactly why Black women have the highest poverty rate. 24% of Black women live below the poverty line. 24%. That's almost like 1 in 4 live at or below the poverty line. So all this, like I said, remind me, all this level up, soft girl, live your best life behavior that Black women are being told, that's going out there right now. Black women are saying they can be battled by themselves. Black women are saying they can be independent. Black women are saying they don't need marriage. Black women are saying they don't need men. All this is happening. All this messaging is happening. And what are the results? Only 37% of Black women who had kids were married. A minority of Black women who have kids right now are married. 1 in 4 women live at or below the poverty line. This is happening right now. You want to talk about failure? Let's talk about what this kind of culture produces. 1 in 4 Black women living at or below the poverty line. Only 37% of Black women who have kids are married. Only 37%. Now compare that 37% to 66% of all other races and women. Because it's good to give context. Just throwing numbers out there don't really mean anything. You want to give context of how this is comparing with other cultures. So 37% of Black women gave birth, were married. This is compared to 66% of all other races of American within the USA. Again, I talked about the poverty rate, right? About 1 in 4, 24% of Black women live at or below the poverty line. 24%. Compare that to only 14% of all other races of women who are at the poverty line. Again, 24%, almost 1 in 4 Black women, okay, are at or below the poverty line. Compare that to 14% of all other races of women. You want to talk about failure? This is what failure looks like. This is what failure is starting to mean. 48% of Black women today have never been married. 48%, they have never been married. Never, ever, ever, ever. Now, compare that to all other women, and let me see. 46% of all other women are currently married. So again, 48% of Black women have never been married, compared to all other races of women. That says 46% of them are currently married. And again, 26% of Black women today are married. 46% of all other women are currently married. So it's like almost twice, like other women are married at almost twice the amount that Black women are married. Why is that? Why are other races of women almost twice as likely to be married than Black women today? Why is that? Why is that? Y'all want to talk about a culture of failure? This is what it is. This is what it is. Y'all, if you're on here, hit that like button, hit the like button, tag anybody on the show, share it with somebody that you think may find it interesting. We are talking about failure. Why and how Black women promote a culture of failure. I started off by talking about this video. Not quick. Y'all let me know in the comments, for those of you who joined, whether or not you've had a chance to see that video from Glorilla. I can't play it. I just can't play it just for copyright reasons, and also I'm on my phone right now. But just let me know in the comment section if you've had a chance to see it. And even if you have not had a chance to see it, if you think of what your typical music video would look like from a Black female rapper, this is what Nut Quick is about. Just think of any typical female rap video, music video, and this is what Nut Quick is about. So we started over talking about that, and now I'm talking to you a little bit about the results that this kind of culture is producing. 1/4 of Black women who are at or below the poverty line. Only 37% of them who have kids are married. Okay. Only 26% of Black women are currently married today. Only 26% of Black women. Again, that's about 1 in 4. And y'all, I can think even in my immediate family, if I think of cousins, siblings, distant cousins, even in my immediate family, I think a lot of the women, I'm like, yeah, actually, they are not married. A lot of them are just straight up not married. Like, and it's funny, I never really put 2 and 2 together. But as I started to look at the stats, and then I started to just look anecdotally in my own life and think of anecdotally in my own life, the women that I know personally, distantly, and I'm like, yeah, these trends I can see these trends even in my own life. Isn't that interesting? Now, okay, so a few of the stuff I've written down. Again, we're talking about results. So for all these, boss babe level up chicks talking about living a soft life, talking about being independent and not needing a man, 24% of Black women currently have a bachelor's degree or higher. 24%. Again, that is 1 in 4. So that means the majority of Black women over here talking about leveling up, getting their bag, getting their money. That it doesn't apply to you. It doesn't apply to the majority of Black women. only 24% of Black women have a bachelor's. And we already know that, generally speaking, getting a degree, getting a bachelor, having college education is, you know, is going to lead to more, well, it's going to lead to more better financial opportunities. Now, unless you're a trade skillman, which most Black women are not, I think only about 8% of them are. Unless you're a trade skillsman, going into corporate or having a college degree is going to dramatically impact your ability to make money, right? So only 24% of Black women have a bachelor's compared to 33% of other women. 33% of other women. And we really want to talk about level up boss babe. Only 26% of Black women made over 50K. This is 26%. Again, about 1 in 4. Only about 1 in 4 women made over $50,000 compared to 48% of all other women. 48% of all other women made 50K, whereas only about 1 in 4 Black women made over 50K. So what is all this saying? What is all this saying? We are seeing that the Black women are the least married, the most baby mamaed, they're not making the most, and they really don't have all that much education when it compares to other women. So we want to talk about a culture of failure. You want to talk about bad results. This is why I take issue with this kinds of content. This is why I take issue with these kind of videos that are just so nonchalant about pushing these messages that don't lead to good things. I went and I was looking through some of the comments in that music video, y'all, and what I saw was, there was one in particular that caught me off guard. It was a 36-year-old woman, and she was like, "Yeah, I'm 36. I was waiting until midnight to buy your music. I love you, yada yada." 36-year-old girl, and then I seen a woman comment 44, and she's like, "Oh yeah, girl, I'll be twerking all across the room with her music. I love her music." These are older women bigging a young girl up for acting a fool. And maybe if the results of the community weren't so bad, maybe if they weren't so bad, then we could just look at this and laugh and be like, okay, this is a joke, maybe. But this is actually producing something. Women listen to this stuff, young girls listen to this stuff, and they are influenced. They think this stuff is cool. You go on TikTok, you see the amount of trash that these younger generations are engaging with and talking about, the amount of low level, low vibrational, like brainless conversations that are happening. And it's like, this is not helping anybody. So I take issue with this culture of toxicity. I take issue with this culture of failure because it is not producing good results. The most single, the most baby mamaed, really the least educated, and the most underpaid when you compare it to other women. And yet we're over here, listening to these music videos, promoting different music videos, bigging up these girls, bigging up this culture like it's empowering us, and it's not. This is what failure looks like, ladies. This is what failure looks like. And for many of us, we have to look in the mirror, and that's the cold part. And I refuse to look at this kind of stuff and identify with it. I refuse to be silent, be complicit and be silent and say that is representation of me. That don't represent me. What I saw, what I posted on the community tab, what I'm talking about does not represent me. It won't ever represent me, and I'm not about it. And I think it's hurting. I think it's hurting women, period. It's specifically hurting Black women because we are leading the charge in degeneracy. And it's not cute. Y'all, if you're on here, hit that like button. It says 107 watching, only 69 likes. Yes, only 69 likes, guys. Help me reach my goal also. We are 9 away from reaching my goal. If you like what's going on here, want to support, hit the Cash App, Venmo, Super Chat. As always, I will be sure to acknowledge all Super Chats, guys. Support your favorite content creators. Support those who aren't going out there thoughting it up and making Black women, the Black community look like a fool. Support those of us who actually are trying to have some class and trying to let people know that there is a better way. There is another way of doing things. So that is really my main thing, y'all. I wanted it to be said that I wanted to be clear my position when it comes to this whole toxic behavior and this modern representation of Black femininity. I don't identify with it. I think it's toxic. I think it's destructive. I think it's harmful. And it leads to failure. And the proof is in the pudding. It leads to failure. And I truly believe in my heart, women don't have to act like that. Like, Black women don't have to act like that. They don't. But if it's incentivized, which it is, unfortunately, you have a culture that incentivizes it. And let's just keep it a buck, y'all. We know that the music industry, mainstream media has never been controlled by us. And unfortunately, the powers that be do not have our best interest in mind. They just don't have our best interest in mind. They've shown this for decades, that the empowerment of Black women, Black men is not their best interest. The exploitation is, but the empowerment is not. So unfortunately, you have the powers that be who don't like us, who have the money, who have the power, who have the resources when it comes to getting messaging like this out there. That's what it is. And if you really want to talk about controlling the messaging, then that's a whole other different conversation. It probably would require something separate. It probably would require other resources building something differently, because if we're expecting the powers that be that have shown that they don't like us to all of a sudden respect us, it's not going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen. You got to look at alternatives. So, yeah, you said I seen women my age like co-sign Glorilla like crazy. These women vicariously live through these rappers, actresses. That's what I'm saying. When I was looking at her comment section, I seen one woman that was 33, another woman that was 44, talking about this ain't no big deal. Like, y'all are too uptight. We're just having fun. We're just this. We're just that. Like, not acting like this isn't a big deal. And I'm looking at the results of what's actually going on, and I'm looking at, you got more and more women going online talking about how marriage is trash, and you got other women talk about, oh, if I am going to get married, I don't need to. Like, I seen one girl just a few minutes ago before I got live. I was like, this woman is running a scam, because her name is Trophy Wife, and she got all these videos over there with like her and some old rich dude who's supposedly taking her and treating her lavishly. And then she goes online and talks about how, no, you as a woman, you shouldn't have to cook or clean. All you should be manifesting is getting a man that's going to give you a credit card and have no limit. And I'm like, are you kidding me? These young girls are being scammed, and they are running scam on one another. And this young content creator has followers. You go on it and it's like luxury. It's, oh, I'm in this resort, I'm this and that. But then she's with this really, really old white dude. And she says she's a wife, but I'm like, I don't know. To me, this just sounds like prostitution. At this point, because when I heard her talking, I was like, that don't sound like a wife. No man in his right mind is going to marry a young girl like the third is age that says, oh, I'm not going to cook and I'm not going to clean. I'm just going to spend your money. No man with two brain cells is signing up for that. So I'm like, this is clearly an arrangement. This is clearly, whether you want to call it prostitution, whether you want to call it a high escort, whatever. That's what this is. But don't be pushing this off like this is what marriage is supposed to look like. Don't do that. But this is what's going around. Shout out to you, Professor Carl Tone Jones. It says, Black women complain about not having the grace of other women without being as graceful as other women. Listen. And to be clear, modern women in the West, period, this is not just the issue that impacts Black women. This is impacting all women. But unfortunately, as I mentioned before, when white America has a cough, Black folks have the flu. Black women lead the charge in anything and all things degenerate. And some of this is systematic, yes. And some of this is also self-imposed. And I would argue that the fact that there's not really much of a pushback, and you got people, the commenter earlier said, you got people in his age, you got elders looking at this and saying, oh, this ain't no twerking, and talking about this ain't no big deal. And listen, I'm not saying that twerking is horrible in and of itself. You got a husband, y'all want to have fun behind closed doors, whatever. But low key, y'all, I'm just tired of seeing Black women twerk. Let me just keep it a buck, y'all. Like, I'm so tired of seeing Black women twerk. Like, I almost just want to ban the dance. Like, can we just, because it's just so overplayed and it's just so tired. I don't know if that's just me. Maybe I'm being a little bit like, maybe I'm being a little over the top. But I'm like legitimately tired of seeing Black women twerk in public in areas where they don't need to be twerking, or just twerking just because. Like, I'm really tired of it. It's like, I don't even want that to be, it's like that's like our mating call or something. It's like that's like our theme song. Like, just twerking. Like, I'm really tired of it. Like, I don't want to see you twerk. Especially when you don't put lotion on your legs. I'm sorry, like, especially when you're ashy. Just keep it about, how many of y'all done seen people twerk and it's like, ma'am, okay, like, if you listen, this is why we used to have grandmamas. Because they would be honest with us. They would be like, honey, do not go outside looking like that. Stop. Put lotion on your legs, put pantyhose on your legs, cover them legs, cover your behind. Like, this is why we used to have grandmamas and aunties and church mamas. And now you have mamas who are celebrating this. They're trying to twerk too because they're trying to relive their youth. It's sad. So it started with the butterfly dance in the 90s. Oh my gosh, I remember that. I remember that. And I remember my mom she hated the butterfly dance because, she was a school teacher. My mom was always telling people off at school, always telling them, like, you are not going to dance like this at the performances. You are not. Like, my mom was always putting people in check. She was kind of strict, but seriously. So, like I said, I'm legitimately tired of twerking. And I'm, again, I wanted to have this conversation because I wanted to be clear. Nobody can look at Shay Sade and say that she complicitly agrees with this BS, because I don't. I do not. So anybody that knows me, knows what I'm about, knows that I do not and will never identify with that. My hope is that these young girls can know that they actually don't have to act like untrained animals. When I was watching that music video, my first thought was, who trained these girls? Like, were they being raised by coyotes or something? Like, because literally the way we're portrayed, as if we're portrayed like we are barbaric animals that are just driven by our lust. Like, we're just driven by having sex. It's just like sex, 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 sex. Like, there's nothing else on our mind. There is no other dimension of our personality, of our woman, and there's no other dimension of who we are. It's like we are just sex crazed animals. That is the way that we are portrayed. And I'm thinking, like this, is this a joke? Either this is a joke, or these women were raised by, like, the wild. Were they in the foster care system? Like, what is going on? Now, to be clear, I do know about one and third. Says 1 out of 3 of Black children are born in poverty. Some of this stuff too is just the result of untraining, lack of home training, kids not having access resources, maybe kids not having parents who are at home or having parents at all. So some of this is socioeconomic. I don't want to undermine that. But nevertheless, it's like, why can't we just call it what it is? Why do we have to now celebrate what's the most degenerate? And I'm not about that. Yes, because we are portrayed as dogs, and he literally, it's to me, it is a condensation from what Black woman to what woman actually could be. Like, I truly believe that, that woman can be better. Like, you don't have to just, you're not destined to just be a thought, like, just by nature of being born. Like, you don't have to be a thought. Like, there are other options out there. But unfortunately, this is what's being promoted, and I'm just not a fan of it. So y'all, that's really what I wanted to say. I didn't have really too much on this topic, but I wanted it to be clear that I don't identify with this. I never will. I think it's disgusting. I think it's deplorable. I think it's degenerate. And I think it's harmful to women. And I think women my age or older, mothers, grandmothers, should be, or I would encourage them to be honest about how bad this is. Not turn a blind eye, not join in the degenerate fun, like, not big them up, not try to relive your youth or your party girl youth through these young girls. No, call it for what it is and say, okay, if you follow this model, if you actually follow the lifestyle that's being promoted through video, like, not quick. Also, let's talk about misandry real quick. How misandrist is that? Black women, women complain about being treated like sexual objects, being complained about being objectified. Respect Black women, listen to Black women. Y'all remember the Me Too movement? Okay, granted. But how misandrist is it to have a whole music video talking about how basically these men aren't worth nothing because they quote unquote nut too quick? How misandrist is that? And we got the nerve to go around complaining about the fact that we're not respected. Well, what in the heck are we? First of all, are we even respecting ourselves? And are we giving respect? It's very, very, very misandrist. Also, it's very misandrist. And somehow that's not a big deal. But we get all in our fifis if we feel like somebody is saying something, misogynoir, or trying to control our bodies, or trying to suppress our sexuality, all this stuff, and we can't even be decent. We can't even treat men like they're humans with different dimensions to their personhood. They're not just like these robots that have a penis. You know what I mean? Like they're actual individuals. So I'm like, can we also talk about how like misandrist nut quick is just as a whole concept? I'm like, am I crazy? Maybe I'm tripping, y'all. Maybe I'm tripping. Well, the title like nut quick, and the whole, I think the comment in there earlier, KC says we are portrayed as dogs in heat. Couldn't agree more. Could not agree more. Dogs in heat. It's like this is what we have been. So we have been subdued to, thinking that we're just dogs in heat. This isn't what we have to do. This is not who I am. And I really don't believe this is who these women are either. I think a lot of them just don't know any better. But I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and say it's cute. It's not. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and say it's not a big deal. It is. And I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and say that if you lead that kind of lifestyle, it's not going to harm you. It will. It absolutely will. I read the results. I read the stats. Black women are the least married, the most baby mamaed, the least educated, the least paid. Again, this is when you compare it to other women. Yet somehow we're winning? Huh? Somehow we're really killing it? And that's not even talking about our weight. That's not even talking about our health. How many of us are at risk? We're having kids out of wedlock. Majority of us making less than $50,000. Okay, the majority of us are making less than $50,000 annually. 1/4 of us are at or below the poverty line. What are we even talking about? We're not winning. We're not. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. This is not a win. This is a fail. You want to talk about failure? This is what it is. You want to talk about failed results? This is what it is. And that's exactly what videos like that are promoting. Not liberation, not y'all having fun, not women being free, not women finding themselves. Failure. Absolute failure. That's it. That's it. So y'all got comments. Look, y'all want to know the context of the video, check it out. But literally, I don't even think it's really worth, and I hate to say it, I don't really think it's worth checking out, because if you could just think of your typical female rap video today, and side note, why is it that like all these female rap videos are literally emulating to me, I feel like they're emulating toxic masculinity. Like not even the good aspects of toxic masculinity, not even like the admirable aspects of toxic masculinity. A lot of them, like a lot of these females in there, female rappers, they'll go on there and they'll move around like they're dudes, like they'll move their body parts like they're dudes. Literally, they'll talk about, like, they'll have the same content ideas that male rappers will. Some of them will even talk about having a D. Like, it's just like they literally are. These female rappers, a lot of them are literally copying toxic, not good masculinity, toxic masculinity. And now it seems like, a lot of them you'll just see Black women twerking on each other. And I'm like, okay, you want to talk about nurturing a culture of lesbians, or nurturing a culture of bisexuality and misandry and all of that. This is what you do. You have a culture, you have content that continues to tell women that men are nothing but A, B, and C. Men are trash, men are this, they nut too quick, men, they can't pay bills. So you have this constant messaging of misandrist behavior. You have that constantly. And then you have videos of women twerking on top of each other. You want to talk about a culture of misandry, a culture of bisexuality, and raising a generation of more and more lesbians, raising a generation of more and more women turning away from men because they don't like men. This is how you do it. This is how you do it. Yeah, you said 1 to 4 millennial. Yeah, I'm going to cover that off in a video I have coming up once I get my computer back. Where it talks about how many women, I think is it Gen? I was getting mixed up. I think it's Gen Y, but more of them are identifying as bisexual. And I do think there's multiple reasons for this. There are multiple reasons for this, but I do think one of them is when you have content that is really misandrous and women are constantly getting messages that men aren't trustworthy and men aren't this, men aren't ish. And then you go online or you go on television or you see music videos of women twerking on each other and doing really sexually provocative things to each other. Yeah, of course these girls are going to be bi. Of course these girls are going to experiment. Some of them may just turn flat out become lesbian because they see no value in men. So, I mean, y'all. Anyways, guys, if you're on here, hit that like button. If you like what's going on, be sure to show support to the show. Help me reach my goal, guys. I am 8 away from my goal. My goal is to get 10 supporters on this live stream. So, Cash App, Venmo, Super Chat. As always, I'll be sure to acknowledge all those things. And support your favorite content creators. One of the ways we can push back against this disgusting messaging is by making sure that we promote and we support those who are doing good. So, let's see the study. Yeah, I'm not sure what study you were referring to, but I do have maybe over the next week or two. I think once I get my computer back, I'm gonna kind of cover off some trends that I've seen that hit modern women in general, not just Black women, but that are impacting women in general, and what can be expected based upon the trend. So definitely stay tuned for that, guys. Also, like I said, hit the like button. Likes are free 99. Likes are free 99. So, I mean, guys, that's really what I had to say. I mean, I think it's pretty clear. We all know that what's being promoted is not good. That it's very toxic. That it's very harmful. And I just don't want to be the woman that sits here and lies to women my age, younger girls. I don't want to be that one. I don't want to lie and act like it's cute when it's not. I don't want to lie and act like it's harmful. It's not harmful when it is. And I don't want to sit and act like it is. It's not a big deal when it's actually harming people. I think it is. Shout out to you, Mr. Hebrew 7 with the 5. Fantastic content. Thank you. I really appreciate you guys. Shout out to JTC with the 5 on the super sticker. Thank you so much. I do appreciate you guys for the support. Yeah, thank you. I think now I'm 5 away from my goal. Thank you guys. So I do have a few minutes. I just wanted to share my thoughts, but I would like to hear from you. If you guys have anything you want to add on this topic, your thoughts on the music video, your thoughts on female rappers in general, and what's going on. I do have a few minutes, so I'm going to drop the link. And let's see. Oh, let me do this. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to drop the link, guys. And if you have anything that you want to say, feel free to come up and we can chat for a bit. Okay. Where'd it go? Okay. Okay, guys. So let me know if any of you guys have anything you want to share on this topic, or maybe you disagree with me. Maybe you think I'm just being too much of a prude. I mean, this is a whole nother content, but a whole nother topic. But when you really think about, okay, what would it take? What would it take for things to turn around? What would it take for a woman who wants to turn around? My opinion is this. I said this, as a Black woman, although I see horrible messaging about the way that Black women are portrayed. Um, hey, what's going on, Hakeem? Good to see you. So good to see you. Good to see you as always. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for showing some love and support. I know you're really consistent with that. But yeah, guys. So I was like, when I think about that, although I see messaging all the time that makes people like me with my complexion be portrayed horribly, like I said, I don't identify with that. And I truly, although I think there's an aspect of me that could feel embarrassed, it's like I don't, because it's like that's not me. That's not the kind of Black woman I have, and that's not the kind of Black community that I express. Now, I think what I would say, as far as really having a separate identity, a distinctive identity, I think this would require a couple of things. First and foremost, a strong connection with God. To me, that is crucial. That is crucial. Like my spiritual identity to me is foundational. If I didn't have a higher power, if I didn't have faith in my God and Christ to give me an identity that is higher than all this trashy stuff, it might be harder, it might be more tempting. But I'm like, I think that's foundational. A woman having a strong spiritual foundation. And then two, obviously, it's like some of us I think are just unlearned. Like we have no understanding of our culture, like we have no understanding of anything that our ancestors did. We have like no understanding, period. This goes up to good training, this goes up to having elders, this goes up to having peer mentors or people who can pour into your life. That is so crucial. And I think I don't think I really understood the power of mentorship, the power of discipleship. I don't think I really understood it when I was younger, but now as I age and I mature, I'm starting to understand how it really is so crucial. And I look at girls who go out there and act like dogs in heat, who look like untrained animals, and I'm like, oh, they have literally been untrained. They have had no mentorship, they have had no discipleship, they have not had anyone go in their life and help guide them and direct them in the right way. And we have a generation of that. So I think it would require that. But here's the thing: it's like I believe a woman can totally change, but a woman has to desire it. And the reality is there's a lot of people who celebrate this and they see nothing wrong with it and they will defend it. My husband told me, he was like, get ready for the you're a pick me, get ready for the respectability politics, get ready for the shaming, get ready. I was like, what? Like, we'll see. But he's like, no, there's gonna be women out there who will defend that tooth and nail. They will defend Black women going and twerking on cars and twerking on each other and wearing fake hair and saying misandrist messages and looking a fool. They will defend that. And they say, if you criticize it, then you yourself are a misogynist. You are too whatever uptight. And I'm like, well, I mean, if you don't want to change, you don't want to change. But for a woman to do different and escape this toxic environment, not only does it restore, will it require a spiritual transformation and a spiritual connection. It's also going to require some practical changes, getting connected with the right people, with the right sources. But ultimately, a woman's going to have to want to change. And unfortunately, there's women right now who don't want to change because they think that they can get good results from it. They think maybe they can get money. They think maybe they can get some form of benefits, and that's why I think partially this culture continues. But I do see a few in the back. I'm going to bring you guys up. Shout out to you, Malarkey, with the 15. It says support your fave content creators. Period. Thank you, Malarkey. Thank you. It's good to see you. I know it's late out where you are, so thanks for stopping by. Okay, but I do see a few in the back. So let me bring some of you guys up and see what you got. Oh wait, okay. Oops. All right, let's see. Oop. Sorry guys. I'm trying to add these individuals. And Hello?
Yo, what's up?
Hey, okay, so what do you got in the topic?
Yeah, first off, I like your channel. I've been watching for a while. I got introduced to you through Chaotic Truth, man, and you
Oh, sweet.
do have a lot of great content. Um, yeah, I actually thought about this. Like, when did thought culture start? And I think this started in 1995 when Adina Howe put out that "Freak Like Me" song. Yeah, I know
Mm,
you remember that. I think that was the first song of its kind at that time, and that was considered obscene. Like now, it ain't nothing. But she was before. She actually led to Lil Kim and Trina and
mm.
all the stuff. It led to all the stuff that we got going on now.
Wow.
And yeah, it's really sad, man, because black women, most of these black women don't realize they're being made a fool out of. You
Literally.
know, and
Literally.
and like we're the only race that accepts just ratchet behavior. Like
Hmm.
you don't see white women acting like this. You don't see Asian. You damn sure don't see Asian women acting like this or any
Oh,
other
no, no, no,
cultures
no, no,
acting
no,
like
no,
this.
no.
It's
Mm-mm.
just our people, and and it's really sad that there's no shame in today's time anymore. Back in the day, I was just talking about this in the chat with an older dude. Back in the day, only time you would see a girl twerking is at a party, at a club, a strip
Yeah.
club, or you was
Yeah.
alone with her. But I think what really made it popular is when you remember. Does anybody remember that video that went viral? That Wally 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 World, where the girls was in there twerking and stuff. This is like over 10 years ago. Y'all
Oh
remember that
God.
video? And I remember I'm thinking to myself like, wow, like this is nasty. This is crazy. And
Yeah.
then after that, there was the twerk team. Remember them on YouTube? They was going crazy for a little bit. So they're the ones that made this whole twerking shit. Oh, I'm sorry, can we curse on here?
I prefer that you don't.
Okay. Well, they're the ones that made all this twerking stuff, mainstream and made it okay. Like I was just in the mall a couple weekends ago, and I see these like these chicks like they look like they was in high school. They twerking in public in the middle of in the middle of the mall.
Right.
I was
It's
just
like
like,
it's
wow.
really annoying at this point because it's like, look, we all know you got body. We all know you got booty. We all know you can twerk. This is nothing new. We don't need to see this everywhere. I don't need to go to Walmart and see you twerking. I don't need to go to the gas station and see you twerking. I don't need to go to a basketball. Like I'm kind of over it. Like I don't want to see it. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm tripping. But I'm legitimately over black women being associated with twerking. Like I'm over it. Like I'm like, can we get a new can something new come?
Man, I don't know, man. I think, like I said, man, like you brought up a good point. I remember Bernie Mac had that joke back in the day. He was just like, what thing's so messed up right here? Ain't no big mamas no more. How is grandmama now? Like 38? Like the grandmama, she getting her hair done, she getting her nails done, she trying to show out and try to relive her youth too. Like the older women, I see a lot of older women co-signing Glorilla, and it's like, I mean, shouldn't you? I just look at them
That's the
like,
problem.
shouldn't y'all have grown out of this lifestyle, like, and,
Right.
and listen to this type of music? Because I'm 32 and I don't even really listen to rap music like I used to, and I see dudes my age running around here bumping Young Boy and all these other like mainstream rappers. I'm just like, wow, like y'all really have shown no growth.
Literally no, no, absolutely no growth. I agree. Action potential. What you got in the topic?
Peace. How do I say your name? Is it Shay Sade?
Shay Sade.
Shay Sade.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I got first one question because of what you said. I'm assuming you are a follower of Jesus Christ.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Interesting. Um, do you think that the behavior of that video is that the majority of black women or the minority in this modern era?
What I think, based upon the results, based upon the stats that I cited earlier, I would lean towards that is reflection of a majority. in
All right.
America. I would not
All
say
right.
all around, in America.
Well, me personally, I differentiate from people from other cultures. I think I qualify myself by saying that I served overseas, and please don't tell me thank you for that. That's nothing to thank a person for.
Mm-hmm.
But seeing how I've been around the world,
Mm-hmm.
I've had to firsthand experience different cultures, and that's another topic for another time.
Okay.
But that's shocking. At first, I was looking for you to deny the fact that this is the overwhelming majority of women. This mindset, this behavior. Likewise, I have to ask you, where do you think that comes from?
Wait, okay, so I'm trying to follow. So you were asking me if I think that this is reflective of the
No, no,
majority
no.
of
First
women in
off, we
America.
already agreed that it's a majority
Yeah, yeah, okay.
of Black women who look at this behavior, and I'm using that word behavior
Yeah,
for a
yeah, yeah.
reason, that
Yeah.
this is the overwhelming majority of the behavior. This is the ideology of Black women, right? I don't speak about people outside of my culture, right?
Hmm.
So if it's the majority of Black women that's behaving this way, where did it come from?
Yeah, that's a good question. I
I
feel
can
like
answer that for you, but
I
I'm
said
curious to know what your assumption is.
no. I said that's a good. I feel like that's how much time you got. It's a whole nother live, but so I'll say this. I think there's a multiple. I think Um, there's multiple different things. Some of this. I'm trying to think. How do I sum this up in like 1 minute? Because literally, this could be an entire different life. Um, well, I would say a big push. A big push certainly started with feminism. Now, I don't think that's all of it. I don't think at all. I think there's a lot of different influences, but I would say that that would be a large one.
Would you
So,
agree that Black women want this culture, promote this culture? When I say Black women, I'm thinking women from the 70s, 80s, 90s. I keep hearing people bringing up Adina Howard, but we have to go back to Ain't Nothing Going On But the Rent. Things that
Yeah, I
set the
forgot
tone,
about that.
right? But we have to think about, personally, I understand from the advent of the internet, we get to see film of documentaries from the 70s. We see these movies that I can kind of scantly remember. I was born in 82. I can remember it a little bit. But now that I'm older, I have more more experience. I want to use the word more context, but more experience. So I recognize that this is an evolution of the ideology of Black women. This isn't something that comes from mainstream media pushing an image. This doesn't come from the political sphere. This comes from when you give somebody an opportunity and they take it. That would
no,
be
I
like
don't.
me making
Mhm.
an excuse for gang violence or acting like I didn't play some role or had some influence in the streets. If I were to talk like that now, that's fake. Do I advocate to my son or other young men to behave how we did? Absolutely not. But when I look at Black women, women who was born before you,
Mhm.
they ready to throw on some makeup and get out there and twerk with the young girls.
No, it's
Which lets
exactly what I'm saying. Yeah. Now, I would say, and then I think I do have a few in the back. I would say that I certainly do think I mentioned feminism. There's obviously Dr. Tison Johnson. He breaks this down beautifully. How policies and different changes, how they do impact families, which eventually will lead to certain behaviors. So he does a lot better job of really breaking that down. But
and that's what I was
um,
indicating that with the you got to think about even before the crack era, the heroin era with pimps and all that stuff, how it
yeah,
evolved into the crack era, the 90s with the welfare babies,
yeah, yeah.
and then so on and so forth. It's an evolution to the point, and not to attack you, but I got to say this: they twerking in the churches, man. They
No, no,
acting a
no, and
complete fool
yeah,
in
okay,
the
but
churches.
let me finish that point real quick. Which I agree. But I would also say that's why I mentioned there's. I think it would be. it would be for me irresponsible to say it's just one thing. There are multiple different variables that I think have led to where we are at today. Is now, I think, are Black women complicit in this? Absolutely, because the fact that you don't hear a collective pushback when these kinds of videos come back, and then you see they're being defending of it,
Word.
it's like,
Word.
yeah, we are embracing this, whether or not we want to say this came from us or this was pushed on us or whatever. We are complicit, we are agreeing, we are embracing, we are promoting, we are celebrating, so we are largely to blame. So yeah, and you're right, absolutely. There are churches who, yeah, they will twerk in the church, they will twerk outside the church, they
It's
will. That's
very
what I'm saying. I'm
sexual in the
like, I'm
churches now.
tired, huh?
I
Nah,
wasn't
yeah,
raised in the
church like a new
churches, but they're
club.
highly sexual.
Yeah, and I will say, I think this depends. I personally, I mean, I've been to all kinds of different churches. I've been to church where, the deacon will give you a Bible study and then go have an affair with the other deacon. Like, I've been in those
Well,
kind of
I meant
churches,
in the aspect
and
that
then I've
there's
been.
women preachers. There's a lot of antics outside of studying the Bible. It's a show now. Women are just
Especially
they've
if you
taken
go
over
to a
the
mega
churches, and
church.
it's very sexual.
Yeah, no, that certainly has happened in mainstream church. Definitely is, like I said, that's a whole nother topic. Is that Bronze Bird, I think. Um,
Bronsberg. Yeah.
okay, how's it going? Also, guys, real quick, if you're on here, hit that like button. I am 3 away from my goal, guys. So if you're here, show some love. If you like what's going on, hit the Cash App or Super Chat.
I
As
got
always, I'll be sure to acknowledge our Super Chats, guys. Likes are free 99. Show some love, y'all. So what you got,
I got one
Bronze?
more question for you. Go. Where do you lead? What do you think this is going to lead the future generation of young ladies that are now watching this,
Hoes.
18 and under? How does this evolve into them? What do you
Hoes.
what do you see as a woman?
I would say stay tuned because I have another live that's going to break that down completely. So stay tuned. I think I should be covering that off in like a week or two.
Word.
So yeah, definitely stay tuned. Hit the notification. Thank you for all of that. Okay, Bronzebird. So what you got?
Yeah, shout outs to you, Chess Friday. So really quickly, I was listening to I heard that song. I couldn't listen to it for like 15 seconds or look at the video. I was just disgusted, right? Like
I hear that.
I just couldn't do it anymore. So before that, I had to do an analysis, right? So what I was saying was, what I was thinking was, in particular to this situation, I said I feel like what the music industry is doing now is they're taking the hurts and the pains of like these like black women and allowing them to go ahead and make a record on it, so it still goes with the whole entire rhetoric. The black man ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? So they are able to get an artist like her to keep going along with the rhetoric and continue to allow her to make sales. Now, this is the thing. It's funny how the rhetoric is, N words ain't this, N words ain't that. But who signed her? A so-called black man with that contract on that plane. So I just find it disgusting, right? And this is where brothers need to be aware of this stuff too. Because I'm not going to put the thing 99% of women. I got to give pushback on men. Now, the thing about it is, a lot of these dudes don't care because it's about the money. You know what I'm saying? So the thing about it is they're allowing these girls out here to go ahead and keep doing this nonsense music and keep making it more of a misandrist type of rhetoric against us brothers. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I sat back. I was like, I can't do it. And then Chess Charlie, I'm pretty sure you've seen that recent girl, Ice Spice, that's out here talk
Yeah,
about
yeah,
munching
I
and all
have.
that other stuff. So at the end of the day, it is about brainwashing or grooming the next generation on today's generation, because right now who they focused on is Gen Z. Millennials is like, all right, you already had yours. Gen Z is the focus now. So that's what
Yeah.
I was just peeping out, and I was just like, yeah, this is crazy.
Hey, you guys. You know what? I'm so sorry to cut this short. I just got a text message about my dad having to go into emergency surgery, so I'm gonna have to wrap this up and check in on my pops.
No
I'm
problem.
sorry.
Hope
I
he's
would take
good.
more calls, but I gotta make sure he's. I literally just got a text. I'm like,
Peace.
what? So I appreciate all of you for hanging out. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Like I said, thank you for joining in. I'm gonna check things out. Thank you guys for those who showed support. As always, Cash App, Venmo, all that. And I'm gonna close this out and then go check on my pops and see what's going on. Peace, guys.